for it.
Hey, hello guys. This is the last section for today with Pastor Paul Kyle Joss.
Um, thanks for waiting. Yeah, Pastor, we are live now. Hello, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir. We are now live, sir.
Yeah, but I'm coming.
Okay, sir. Yeah, let's welcome our pastor. My own daddy is my daddy, my one and only daddy, my daddy from UK. There. Thank you for joining us, sir. God bless you. More
Right.
anointing,
So
sir.
I'm coming in at 7 o'clock.
Yes, sir. Because of your time, that's why.
Right, okay.
Yeah, because of your time, so I can do it fast and go. Even me too, I'm still at work. I need to go. It's already.
Right, okay.
Yes, sir.
It's not a problem.
Thank you so much, sir, for
Right.
joining us. Yes. So okay, so let's go into the topic direct and let's conclude and motivate people on it, sir.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can. I can hear you, sir.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. I can hear you, sir.
Oh, sorry. Can you still hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you, sir.
Alrighty. So what's the did you ask me
Yeah.
a question or something?
Yes,
So
we on leadership in challenges time. And we have a lot of leaders and that people are really following. And let me say leadership in challenges time. What can you brief us on to in leadership challenges time? What is your say on this, sir?
alrighty, okay. As a leader in a challenging times, I mean what we needed to look at to start with is the word challenging. Okay, because something about a challenge is like it sounds like a competition, it sounds like a test. Okay, so when you say challenging times, as far as I'm concerned, is like something that is happening that want to test you, something that is happening that want to see how far you can go and what you're made of. Okay, that is a challenging time. So it's like when you face a mathematics equation. Okay, we call it mathematics equation, but I don't know what for the mathematics equation or the questions of maths is a question called, it's something in maths that you see, they call it a maths problem. They use the word problem for mathematics. So even though it's a question, even though it's a question, but they call it a problem in maths. Okay, so every problem you face is really a question waiting for an answer. So every problem you face is actually a question waiting for an answer. So a leader in challenging times needs to totally understand what they're going through, okay? And don't just overestimate the issue you're having. You should have an attitude as a leader that whatever it is that we're facing, it's actually is a challenge, is something testing you, is something testing your skill, your ability, your perseverance, your patience, and your wisdom, and even the strategies that you have. So it's actually something that is testing your ability. And to every question, there is an answer. So if there is going to be a challenge, there are two things that's going to happen. In every challenge, there are winners and losers. Somebody's going to win. Somebody's going to win, either you or the other person. So you have to make a decision who's going to lead. So a leader in a challenging times, first of all, need to have a right approach to what is happening. You need to understand where you are and what is going on. Another thing, one thing that can happen to a leader in a challenging time at times is that the error there's an error that people can make, and that is the error of overestimating or overrating or exaggerating what you're going through. Now, you got to get a grasp. Sorry, you saying something?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, so you got to get a grasp of what is going on. You need clear understanding, not a sugar-coated understanding. That's something I love. Something in the Bible says, if you say unto this mountain, be removed and be cast into the sea. So you got to identify the mountain. Don't call the mountain a valley. Don't call a mountain a hill. A mountain is a mountain. So a leader in the challenging times and you're facing a crisis need to understand the scope of the crisis. So even before you can try to solve the problem, the first thing to check is what problem am I even having? Because problems have a way of coming in different form. You will think this is a problem, but actually the problem is another thing. Let me give you, back in Africa when we're younger and you want to catch, there's a way that if you want to go into, there's this hole that you have mouses and stuff, or rats or mouse is hiding in the hole. So what you do is that you find the exit and you stand at the exit. You find the second exit and then you make a noise. And because normally those kind of holes have like 2 exits or 3. So you find the other exit and you make the noise from the first exit. So when you're making the noise from the first exit, the rat or whatever will think that the problem is with the first exit and want to run out from the second exit. When they try to get out from the second exit, but you're already waiting for them, that's how they get killed. So the first thing you want to do is this, to identify what is the problem. What problem am I even having? Because the problem you think you're having may not be the problem you're having. So you got to analyze the problem, okay, and do a critical evaluation of the threats that you're facing and the resources that you have to be able to deal with the threats. At the same time, you check with the time that you have to deal with the threat, because at the end of the day, you may even have a threat, okay, that you even have the solution for, but you don't have the time to apply the solution, because with the constraint of time, at times makes a demand on your strategy, okay, because the strategy you have at times have to be streamlined to the time that you have to be able to apply it. So there's a whole lot of critical evaluation that will have to take place, and so a leader may want to bring in the other leaders in the organization, other leaders in the country, other leaders in the group to do an evaluation of the situation. Okay, so when we finish evaluating the situation, we know the resources that we have to deal with it, and then we know exactly what we're dealing with. Then we begin to apply solutions. Okay, and we're saying that don't exaggerate your problem, don't exaggerate the situation, because you can actually get things done. All right. Okay, I think we'll just have another guest or something. Just go ahead.
Yes, I know. We don't have another guest. This is the person that will be moderating you. Just join us now. Now I will not be the one that will be moderating you. We have Michael Amuson.
Right.
Yes, sir. We have Michael Amuson online now. We have Michael now. He will be the one that will be moderating you, sir. I will not be the one. He will be the one handling this section. Thank you so much. And this over you, Mr. Michael Amuson, sir.
Good evening, Reverend. Good evening, Reverend. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Good evening. It's such a good pleasure to be with you today. I know it's a very good one for everyone watching us right now. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, how's the period going for you? The period, we are in a passing time all over the world, facing a pandemic, globally. So what's your reaction first?
I mean, it's just a good time to spend time with the family, I think. I mean, obviously, not being selfish. I mean, it's not been easy in the whole world because of all the issues that happen, and the death and the sickness and the limitation and issues that businesses are facing and stuff. So it's not been very okay for people. But in every situation, you have to look for the positive, because, as I was saying earlier, that problems do come, but they masquerade as you can overestimate and you can exaggerate a problem. Okay, COVID-19 is a situation, and COVID-19 is a problem, but you don't want to exaggerate the problem. You want to isolate, and you need to actually define the problem that you've got. So, fine, it's been a difficult time, but at the same time, it's been a time of opportunities. for a lot of people. A lot of people have used this time to learn. They're learning things
Yeah.
they've not learned before. They're doing things they've never done before. Businesses, organizations are deploying solutions that they've not done before, and people are making actually more progress at times than they're making before.
Definitely.
So it's been a good time with the family also for me, because I do a lot of traveling.
Definitely, which is one of even the thing we're doing today. I believe that what we're doing today is such a pointer for every young person on the continent of Africa and the world, which is what they can lay their hands upon during the pandemic. I agree with you, Reverend, that of course during this time many people are deploying, massive efforts into, making things work, learning new ways to do things, and gaining experience and learning different stuff. I agree with you, and of course connecting with people. I agree with you. I totally agree with you. Yeah. So what?
I say even
I'm with you.
Conferences, some of your old conferences. I think your last year conference, I was not able to make it because my schedule didn't make it happen. And but now we're here. We're here now. We're able to make the conference.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. I must mention, Reverend Paul, that I actually been seeing you from afar for quite a while, like many years ago now, very, very many years ago. Wow. Even before this time around, I was hoping to meet you around the Let's Talk Future, which was the last physical event before the coronavirus came up on board.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need to pick up my. Can somebody get my? Okay, Reverend, I was going to get my airport, but then I'd just like us to go straight into the business. Well, in the time we are passing through, which is a very dynamic time, we've not seen what is happening now globally at least for the past 100 years from what we have understood. Are you there? Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. I'm here. Go ahead.
Yeah. So we've not seen what is happening currently now. At least for the last time we saw, I think was 19 in the major one, you see. So what do you think? What do you think particularly that the government of the world, how do you see the reaction of the government of the world? Let's start from the global stage. We'll come back to Nigeria, but let's start from the global stage. What do you think the reaction of the world superpowers and of course the smallest country, what do you think about the reaction about the pandemic itself as regards leadership?
I think in terms of some of the leaders, without criticizing people, I think people were caught unawares. All right, and so different people have different countries and different leaders. I'm here in the United Kingdom. We know the United States, the reaction in the States is different from the reaction in the UK. The reaction in the Netherlands is different from the reaction in New Zealand. There's a country, I forgot the name of this country, where they actually is it Taiwan? I'm not sure. I think it's Taiwan or somewhere. That their reaction is totally different because they were like very, very proactive. Okay, they never had a shutdown.
Yeah.
The lockdown. Okay.
I think it was Taiwan. I think it was Taiwan, regardless of the fact that they even share borders with China, where it happened from.
Yeah, because sometimes, let me say something to you. Sometimes our problem is this: if you understand the problem properly and you take immediate action, you limit the effect of the problem. It's like we say, a stitch in time saves nine. Look at what happened in the United States. United States is saying, "Oh, this is like a phase. It's just a Chinese problem. It's just a problem in China. It's not coming to the US. The US is blah, this and that." And what happened was a major disaster. I mean, so what I'm trying to say is, at times when you look at life and you say this thing is not going to get to me, it's just their issue. I want to say something to everybody. In leadership, you got to know that helping other people solve their problem is actually good for you. Okay? Because you may be thinking it's not coming to you. Just like some people don't do, like some of the African countries and stuff that didn't do the education of people properly, that when they didn't invest a lot in education and in health, okay, in the health sector, they didn't invest as they should, and in the education sector, they didn't invest as they should. But don't you know something? That the guy that don't have education may turn out to be a criminal. Okay, may turn out to be a criminal. And now when he becomes a criminal, who do you think he'll be stealing from? He'll be stealing from you.
First of the person, exactly.
So it's for your benefit to do empowerment, to build people up. Like, look at the COVID situation now. That the guys that used to travel out of Nigeria to go take treatment, if they have headache, they run to Germany. And now COVID is in town, and the same hospital they've neglected is where they have to run to now. So at the end of the day, you don't want to leave a problem, even though it may not be affecting you. Okay, some like Taiwan did a lot of stuff. New Zealand did wonderfully also. They had some deaths. But the British government says something that is good at times for the disease to enter the community, and then they will do they have some policies and some strategies that they're using. But the New Zealand Prime Minister said she does not, is a lady, that she doesn't want the disease to enter into the community, because they were thinking if they enter the community, we will understand it better. People will develop immune system, even though some people will die. So she wants nobody to die. So we're not going to let it go in. We're going to stop it. So people have different strategy. Because at the same time, when you're saying, okay, you want to give it a bit of a loose hand for it to enter the community so that we can understand the sickness better, and so that we can develop a kind of our immunity and all those kind of stuff. When you do that, you can't dictate how far it will go. It's like setting the bush on fire. When you set the bush on fire, you don't know how far the fire will go because you can't control it. So if COVID enter a state, or if COVID enter a city, or if COVID enter a country, you can't say COVID is just going to stay on this street. You don't know how far this will go. So a stitch in time definitely
saves nine.
A leader will understand. Leader will understand that you can't have a problem. Can you still hear me?
I can hear you. You broke at the point, but I can hear you.
Okay. I said a leader will understand that you don't just leave a problem or a situation to do its own course. You direct at times, as much as you can, you direct how the thing and how far the thing will go. Because you're not just going to it's like having a car and just allow the car to go anyhow. You don't know what the car is going to hit. A leader want to make sure that how far this will go, we will be on top of it. Eventually, I mean, the world leaders, they've a lot of them have stepped up properly, and I think COVID is. I think we have some vaccine now that's going to be out there, and there's still the controversy about the vaccine, but vaccine is going to go, and a whole lot of stuff is going to be happening. So I think some people started late, some people started a bit early, and the people that started early was able to curb it. Germany didn't have a lot of deaths. They have quite a number of deaths, but they didn't have a lot of deaths compared to the UK. I think they even have more infection and less death. Why? Because they curbed it. We don't know, from what we understood about China, China also curbed it, even though we don't know if the data is true or not true. We're not sure. Yeah. But what I'm trying to say is that if you leave things to run rampant, you will not be sure. Right. So the leaders did try.
I think, Reverend, you've actually hit the nail where it matters most, really. There was a saying that you pointed a lot of saying. Your points were actually recalling profound quotes of great men, the Nelson Mandela of the world. I remember that Nelson Mandela and of course Jeff Kennedy was saying that when you do not train the children of the poor, they will turn to become criminals and come and out your children when they are, of course, sucking the wealth you have actually amassed for them, And of course, until we understand that, community is interwoven, it's interdependent, I don't think we are going to move. It's just profound that we are not going to move anywhere in the world, People just felt that this wasn't coming close to here. When it happened in 1918, Reverend, I think the problem was not every part of the world was so connected the way we are connected now. The world is now a global village, such that anything happening in China can actually affect people in Nigeria, than even what's happening in Spain as well can concern people in Ghana. So it's now become so big a global village, and whatever happens in anywhere can just affect anybody anywhere. So I agree with you, 100%. But I was going to say, Reverend, isn't it proactiveness that defies leadership? I mean, you mentioned the fact that some governments were proactive enough, some picked up late. So isn't it bothering to say that proactiveness is the kernel of leadership itself? You know.
Yeah, I mean, a leader have to be extremely proactive, and being proactive means there are two things: is either you have foresight, or you can quickly deal with the information at hand. Because
say it again. Say it again. The second point, sir. The second point, sir. Say it again.
Yeah, it's like if we say foresight or quickness in dealing with the situation at hand. Okay. So even if you don't have a foresight, but now that this is happening, you quickly grasp it and be fast enough to take action, which is that being proactive.
Yeah.
Okay, but at the end of because if you have the foresight, then you prepare in advance. Okay. But if you don't have the foresight and you don't even know that this is going to happen, you don't even have data, you don't have nothing to show you. I mean, at times, like when you have although I want to say some natural disasters, at times natural disaster, you have foresight for that. But you don't have the data. There was no data that is out there that tells us that COVID-19 is coming. There's nothing really that shows us that this is going to happen. So everybody is like living the experience at the same time. Nobody had the edge over another person. And that's why that's even a bit like on a bad level to put it like that's a good thing about COVID a bit, because it's a leveler. Everybody is experiencing it for the first time. Nobody's ever experienced it before. And so it's an opportunity for anybody to do whatever you need to do based on your preparation and the resources and the knowledge that is available to you. That is why a lot of people are going to learn quickly, because the more you learn, the more you can actually earn in a crisis. Okay, so it's you got to be, as you said, the leader have to be like very, very proactive, and that is you've got to have the ability to analyze situations without tension. Okay, there are two ways. We have internal tensions and you have external tensions. Okay, you have to learn how to analyze problems in a way that you don't have the intention, which your tension on your inside is not going to create a situation whereby you can no longer think. You don't face situations. Leaders must not face situations in a way that they begin to panic. You don't panic. It's like driving a car and the car is about to have an accident and you're the driver. If the driver panics, then there's nothing more that you can do. One of the worst that can ever happen is for a leader to panic. And then the second thing which is quite bad for a leader is for a leader to also just be blasé, to underestimate. To panic means to overestimate, and to blasé means you are underestimating the situation. Some of the world leaders were accused of underestimating COVID. So don't overestimate it and don't underestimate it. But at times you can't even take that decision alone. That is why you need a group of people, of like-minded people, or of other leaders to be able to sit down and analyze. That's where you have the experts to be able to analyze with you, so that whatever decision you're making is not going to be an overestimation of the problem or an underestimation of the problem. At times, let me say something to you. At times, overestimation of the problem will be a little bit, because if somebody says, "What am I going to choose?" Okay, let's choose one out of the two evils. One evil is overestimation. Second evil is underestimation. If you're going to choose one out of the two evils, please choose overestimation. So that's extra too much. But when you do underestimation, you may not be around to fix the problem. If you do overestimation, even though you may have gone above what you want to do, but at least you will have taken some actions. Underestimation is quite bad. So some of the places in the world that you saw a lot of death due to COVID is an underestimation of the problem. So leaders have to be very careful. Can you hear me now? Can you still hear me? I'm not sure if I'm still connected or.
Yes, sir. We can hear you, sir. We can hear you so very clear. You are connected, sir. Okay, Mr. Michael.
Tosin, can you continue for a while? Let me pick up my hand free. Please let me pick my hand free. Continue.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay. So I have this question for you that someone just threw to me now.
Are we still connected?
Okay. How should a leader cope with this is showing on the screen. Someone just send it to me now. This is the question showing on the screen, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir. So this is the question showing on the screen that someone just threw to me now to ask you, sir.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I can't read the question. I don't have my glasses. Please read it for me.
Okay. Yes, sir. We have, what are the main quantity a 21? What are the main qualities a 21st century leader should possess? Yes, sir.
Okay. What I wanted to just say is 21st century leadership. Basic. One of the things is that you got to have updated knowledge. A leader cannot be lazy in getting information. A leader cannot be lazy in knowing as you're saying, the interconnectivity of the world. Okay, the Internet of Things. A leader has to totally be up to speed with what is new and what is happening in the world today. Okay, because all the yesterday's knowledge at times is not suitable for today's problem. Okay, yesterday's knowledge can be a background, but today's problem, they are unique. And when we talk about when you talk about COVID came with different and totally different level of problems that requires a different application of solution. Like, for example, a business leader that have a system that they use to do their business because of the 21st century and there's the age of change. You got to be open to different knowledge. And another thing that the 21st century leaders should be able to put in place is the ability to be pliable. You cannot be rigid. You cannot just say, okay, this is how we used to do it, and this is how I'm going to continue to do it. You cannot be rigid. You have to be pliable. So you have to be able to change methods. So there are so many things that we can say, but I just wanted to focus on those like 2 points. And that is number one, you've got to be ready to learn. Wake up every day to learn. So that there was a time Elon Musk, Elon Musk, he said that he actually reads like 2 books a day. It takes 10 hours to read a book. Normally, average, it takes 10 hours to read a book. But there's an app called Blink List. Blink List will allow you to read a whole book in 15 minutes. Because what they've done is that they took out all the major points in the book, and when you subscribe to them, they give you a book, and the major point of that book is made available for you to be able to read it within 15 minutes. So that means you can read about 3 books a day. You've got to be ready to learn and get knowledge. Another thing I want to say about getting knowledge is this: you got to get knowledge in the area of your expertise, but you have to also get knowledge in the area that is not your expertise. Those boring areas, because it does something to your mind. When your mind can process what it doesn't really like, what you're not used to, it broadens your ability to be able to think outside the box. Because when you're studying in the area of the things that you know, that means you're inside the box. So you got to learn how to be able to study in other areas that are outside the box, things that are quite boring to you, but it does something to your thinking and your ability to analyze data. Can you still hear me?
Yes, sir. Wow. Yes, sir. The second question is, how can you cope with a set of leaders? Like, we have a lot of leaders, we have a lot of people that you are looking up, you are looking up to. Like, you have 1 year. How can you cope with everybody to get to where you are going? Like, this one says do this. How can you, when a leader give you different options? How can you, as a leader, you have people that give you different options and opinions? How can you cope with that? How can you manage that?
So how can you make it?
Yeah, division. Yeah, how can you make
it's kind of easy because you have to. It's kind of easy because you have to be taken and possessed by your vision and your mission. Everybody will take, it's like if you don't know where you're going, every road will take you there. All right. So one of the things you want to do is that you got to know exactly what you want to do, how you want to achieve it, and the kind of person you are as a leader. Because there are some solutions that maybe a business have a problem, and somebody will say, okay, one consultant will come to you and say, okay, the best thing to do is that let's fire a lot of people and we'll save money and stuff. But a leader, because leadership is not devoid of the person. Okay, that is why you can look at, there's a generic, there's a standard qualities of a leader, but you have to bring your person, even your personality, into your form of leadership. So when you have several opinions and your person is your value also, okay, so like, what is your value when you have different options as a leader? Or do I increase investment? Do I fire the people? Do I close down the office? Do I do stuff? There's so many things, there's so many options that can be put on the table, and you're a leader to make a decision. You have to check the value of your personal value and the value of the organization. You have to be able to see what aligns most with your vision and what is in line with your mission. Because if your value, your mission, and your vision, they're like the compass of your organization. But also, because it's for example, if it's a business, then you got to check what works with your investors also, because it is and what works for the life of the business. And this is why I want to say this, is that this is why some companies can make a decision either to fire somebody or not, or to fire staff, because it's like a ship that is sinking. You have to lighten the load. No matter how if you're in this boat and the boat is sinking, no matter how much you like maybe the piano or something in there, you have to throw some things into the water to be able to lighten the load, because you have to save the boat for tomorrow. Because if you keep everything in the boat, you can lose the whole business. So at times, a leader has to think of the longevity, the long-term goal and the long-term theme of a company or of an organization. So when you have different opinion, you look at it. How will this decision affect our long-term goal? How will this decision affect the things that we want to achieve in the future? And that is one thing, my vision, my mission, my value, and the long-term effect of every decision. You got to check all the different outcomes. That if you go this way, what can the outcome be? If you go that way, what can the outcome be? If you go this other way, what can the outcome be? All those things are the things you put in consideration in order to be able to make a decision.
Okay, so how are you going to be more creative in this challenges time? To be more creative as a leader in this challenges time.
Okay.
How are you going to be more creative as a leader? How to be creative in this challenges time as a leader? How to be more creative. Yes, more than some leaders also.
Yes, how can the leader be more creative? Is that number one, you got to be free from the old. You got to know that this is a new normal. Okay, in this challenging time, and what I'm saying is that you don't need to embrace, as we said, you embrace new knowledge and new ways of doing things, and the thing that can totally help you in achieving the result. One of the things that one thing that helps your creativity is that you have to put your eyes firmly on what can take you to where you're going. Okay, because for example, if you're on a road and it's blocked or it's partially blocked and you're the driver, if you really want to go to where you're going, you will learn to drive to the side and avoid it. Why? Because of your commitment to your destination. So one of the things is that I can't just tell you that 1, 2, 3, and these are the things that you needed to do. But one thing that will always help you is that if you really want to get to, and you're really committed to achieving your result without making excuses, then you will find a way to get there. Now, one thing that you want to do is that in this time, if you want to be creative, you cannot give in to blame. You cannot blame anything, because the moment you blame, you block your creativity. Okay, when you're blaming the situation, you're blaming the government, you're blaming this, that means you're giving yourself excuses not to perform. But no, if you really want to be creative, one of the first things you have to do is that you have to remove all the blames, you have to remove all the excuses, and you have to be committed to getting to your destination. And look at the things that can help you to get to the place. You're committed like that. The way you are very committed like that. Find a way.
I didn't get the question to that, but I got the flow of what I meant, and which means that anyone that wants to get to his own desired destination. Are you there? Can you hear me? And it is that anyone that wants to get to his desired destination has to be committed to getting there. Reverend, am I with you?
Yes, he's with us. He's with us.
Okay, so I'm saying I got the flow of the conversation, which is that for anyone to get to his desired destination has to be really committed to getting to those places, getting all those excuses and all those of his way, everything that could be like an entanglement of the way. Can you hear me?
Yes, you can hear.
Beautiful.
I think the internet's a bit dodgy, but it's okay now.
But I can hear you from here. Can you hear me? Tosin as well too. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Perfect.
Reverend, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Reverend, can you hear me?
Sorry, I can't hear you. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Now, right? Is it fine? Can you hear me now? I'm not sure you can. I'm not sure you can.
Continue.
Okay, so I think part of the challenge is part of the leadership in challenging times is what we are even having now. The internet is tripping off, and the airport problem, the hands-free issue, So I want to actually pay attention to young persons handling leadership during challenging times. For example, people who were born. You can't hear me anymore.
So sorry, I didn't hear you properly because it's breaking.
What about? Can you hear me now? Is it better? Is it better? Is it better?
Yes, can you hear, sir?
I think the network over Reverend is quite challenging,
Yes.
The network seems so bad. We should reconnect back to him in a matter of 10 max.
Yeah.
It's
Hello, Pastor. Can you hear
sad
now?
that when Reverend,
hello,
can you hear me now?
Reverend, sir.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Something is wrong.
Yeah,
now, can you hear me too?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, beautiful. So I was saying that part of the challenges we face is actually what we're facing now. The internet issue, the hands-free organization, logistic issue, you understand? But I was going to pay attention to the young persons handling leadership during challenging times. For example, people that were born in the 80s, I believe, and in the 70s, let's even go back to as far back as the 50s, can have not been able to see what is actually happening now. For example, handling leadership during this type of time. They have not experienced the pandemic. And so let us picture a young person who is at the helms of affairs during this time, and you were mentioning at the other time about two things, which is overreaction and underreaction. You also cleared it further to say overreaction is quite better. So my question is, how do we measure when it is over or under? For a young person.
Wow. I think the internet is really breaking. I'm trying to get okay. Wow.
Did you get that?
Yeah, I can get you now, but Pastor have leave now. You have to reconnect again. The network is over there breaking.
It's sad. It's so sad. It's so sad. This is so sad. This is so sad.
Okay. We are waiting for him just to come up. Okay, he's here back. Pastor is back. Okay, you can continue, sir. Michael.
Yeah, let him come. Let us confirm.
Yeah, he's here.
So, Reverend, my question was, how do we measure since we are advised to choose overreaction in the case of responding to things during challenging times? For somebody who is at the helm of affair, who is actually very young, who hasn't seen such of a pandemic before, which people even before that have not actually experienced as well, how do we measure over for such person? How do we go about measuring over? Of course, it's a clear cut to actually define and get what under is, but then how do we measure when it is over, in your opinion? Did you get that?
Okay, you say how to measure when it's over?
I didn't get that. Can you repeat? Can you repeat, Reverend? Can you repeat that? I didn't get that. It was breaking.
Sorry, because the line is breaking, so I didn't hear you properly.
Yeah, yours is actually breaking as well. Is it clear now? Oh, sorry. Now? Now?
I think the network is broken. We need
to. Quite bad. Mosquito.
Wow. Reverend sir.
Sad. The network is quite bad over there.
Yeah, sure. Yes. Yeah. Reverend. Okay. Trying to connect back to Reverend. I want to throw this question out there to you that you are going to watch this later and you that you're watching now. What? Well, if you are talking about this leadership pandemic and something area of leadership, if you are the one in this situation of a president as a leader of a country, what is your action? What are you going to be doing? What is your action in this moment of time? I'm trying to throw this question down to those people that are going to be watching this after and watching now. I think let's just play something and to wait for Reverend to come in.
A servant and master relationship is a distant relationship. But the father, friend, and son relationship is an intimate relationship. It's a relationship that gives you confidence. You come boldly to his presence. Yeah, because everything you are still believing God for, it will give you automatic confidence that it is done. What I have discovered is that a lot of believers are in the church, especially in this part of the world, who still relate to God as though it's a master and a servant relationship alone they have with God. But we have more than that with God. We are sons and we are daughters. In fact, he called us his friend. We are also his friend. And when your father becomes your friend, it becomes even better. Let me give you an example. If you're making a demand, you're asking your master to do something for you, you can ask him fair because you're not sure if you're going to have mercy before him. But when you are speaking to God and you understand he's your father, you don't have to ask him fair. Do you know that the moment a child of God begin to understand that God is no longer just a master, but a father, it will change the prayer life. It will change your struggles. It will bring peace where there is chaos. It will bring joy where there is sadness. It will calm down storm. I prophesy to someone watching this morning. Every wrong mentality that have imparted into you that is hindering your Christian relationship, that is not making you enjoy the fullness of God, the fullness of the victory that Christ paid for, I command every negative thing sown into your heart to be uprooted today. The Bible says, whatever my Father has not planted shall be uprooted. I command every tree of information and philosophy and traditions that have been planted that are contrary to Christ in your heart, I command them uprooted in the name of Jesus Christ.
Introducing social banking from GT Bank. Anywhere, anytime, any device.
So, I understand your name is Frank Donga. Is that correct?
Donga.
Okay, Mr. Frank. You're here for a visa application. Is that correct?
No, Mama, it's visa. I've already done the application.
That's what I said. Visa application.
Yes, ma'am. No, ma, the visa. I need visa. I apply online. I've done the application online.
How long do you intend to stay, Mr. Donga?
As soon as we are finished, I go. They say it can't take long.
No. How long do you intend to stay in my country, Mr. Donga?
Okay, ma. I can't stay long. I have something doing. You understand? Soonest. Once I come back, I have a lot of things doing.
Can you give us a time estimation, Mr. Donga?
Ma.
Can you give us a length of time for which you'll be away, Mr. Donga?
No, I can't be away, ma. As soon as, once I finish everything, I return.
Can you convince me that you'll return?
I can convince you, ma. I can convince you.
Why would you return, Mr. Donga?
Ma, you know this place is not my place. Then anybody that is like market, you go to the market, you have to come back. You go, then you come back. So that's the thing. That's the plan. That's the plan. It's already there.
Okay, what do you do for a living, Mr. Donga?
You said?
What type of work do you do?
I'm a professional, man. I'm a professional. Somebody that is a professional now. Any work.
Why would you like to visit my country?
Yes, ma'am. It's like, since when I'm small, I've always have it in mind that abroad is a place that anybody who's a professional, anybody once you get to a professional level, you go to abroad, by the time you come back, your this thing is not ordinary again. So that's the thing. Because by the time, even as you understand,
stay seated,
no man, because I want to show you, as I was growing up, I have it in mind that when the time I travel to abroad and as a professional I come back, that's it, man.
Tell me why you'd like to visit my country, Mr. Donga.
Because if you America is a place that any professional, he has to kneel down and pray. That once you go to abroad, America, you come back, your distance is no longer the same. I visit all the important areas. Martin Luther King, Washington DC, all these people. Because you have to know them.
Mr. Donga.
Yes, ma'am.
We give out British visas here, Mr. Donga. This is the British Embassy.
You can help me, you can give me that one too, ma'am. Because British. I can go, then I'll come back to you. You can give me.
Thank you very much, Mr. Donga.
So, what do we do?
Hello, friends. I'm David Olatunde Adeoye. Do you know that how far you go in life is not up to God? How far you go in the marketplace is not up to God, it's up to you. Especially in this time of COVID-19, you need to learn some basic truths on how to become a market leader in such a time as this. August 1st, I'll be hosting a training program for business people all over the world. People are already registering from so many parts of the world. I'd like you to join us. All you need to do is to click the link below and check some of the details. You will be glad you did. I'll see you then.
Send the link is here, but
Hello, friends. I'm David Olatunde Adeoye. Do you know that how far you go in life is not up to God? How far you go in the marketplace is not up to God, it's up to you. Especially in this time of COVID-19, you need to learn some basic truths on how to become a market leader in such a time as this. August 1st, I'll be hosting a training program for business people all over the world. People are already registering from so many parts of the world. I'd like you to join us. All you need to do is to click the link below and check some of the details. You will be glad you did. I'll see you then.
Hi guys, my name is Samuel Somiwa. I'm here today to introduce to you what we call JinidoMobile.com. JinidoMobile.com is a recharge and bill payment platform where you can pay for all your bills, including DSTV, GoTV, StarTime, and also NEPA bills. You know, what our platform is very different from other platforms is that you get commission on every of your recharges. I advise you to go to www.JinidoMobile.com to register now. The first aspect is to register, the second aspect is to fund your wallet. And you can get for as low as 500 naira for 1 gig, and you also get 1,000 naira for 2 gig, and you can even get more on other SME data. To be a part of this amazing offer, log on to www.JinidoMobile.com to get started.
Okay, welcome back. Are you there, Michael? Yeah,
I'm here.
Yeah. Okay. I'm talking now, and Jake is going to try to connect back to us, but the network is not going.
The network is really, really bad. I must confess. Even over here, the network is quite bad, and the lighting is even bad here too. So,
okay, let me talk. Okay, he's here back. Okay, he's here back here.
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yeah, Reverend, I can hear you. Good. Welcome back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Welcome back. Well.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Welcome back. That's great.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, beautiful. Right.
You have a question? I can't hear you.
Mr. Michael, can you hear me?
I think he's frozen.
Wow.
I think the internet's a bit funny. So what do we do now?
Okay, sir, you can give us last word of advice for the young people so we can release you, sir, because of the network.
Okay, what I will say to everybody is that from what you can see with COVID is that you cannot control what can be thrown at you in the world. So as a young person, life brings, situation will come, circumstance will come, and different things will happen, and you may not even know what tomorrow might bring. That is why we need to be versatile in our knowledge, in our connections, in our things, and we should also be very pliable in able to learn new things and apply new strategies. Let us not be rigid. Let's just try and learn that the world might not go the way you think things will happen. Anything can happen, but just be prepared that at the end of the day, some things will happen that you're not prepared for. But when you face a situation that you're not prepared for, be very ready to quickly learn what others are saying and what is working, and try to apply your stuff, and don't panic. Everything will come and everything will go. And by the grace of God, we will survive whatever it is that we're facing. Just know that life throws things at you. You can prepare for things, but unexpected things do happen. But when it happens, even if you don't have what it takes when it happens, quickly learn what you need to learn and associate with people that are going to where you want to be. And very soon you will be able to achieve what you need to achieve. I think that's one of the last things I can say to you.
Wow. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for letting me come in.
Yeah, we really appreciate you, sir, for time giving us to join us on You Got This 2020 summit. Thank you so much. God bless you. God honor you, sir. Thank you. We love you, sir, from Drive Innovative Africa. Bye for now, sir.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Yes, sir. I have this conference coming up on the 1st of August that you should attend. That is what my senior pastor will be doing this conference. I want you to watch it after.
Hello, friends. I'm David Olatunde Adeoye. Do you know that how far you go in life is not up to God? How far you go in the marketplace is not up to God, it's up to you. Especially in this time of COVID-19, you need to learn some basic truths on how to become a market leader in such a time as this. August 1st, I'll be hosting a training program for business people all over the world. People are already registering from so many parts of the world. I'd like you to join us. All you need to do is to click the link below and check some of the details. You will be glad you did. I'll see you then.
Oh, thank you for joining us today. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. God bless you. God bless you. Yeah. Thank you. Bye. Bye for now. See you tomorrow by 12 p.m.